If you've spent any time at all looking at stocks, you've definitely come across something called the PE ratio. But what on earth is it? And more importantly, how can it actually help you make better decisions? Well, today we're going to break it all down. This is the big one. It's the question every single investor asks themselves before they click that buy button. Prices are going up, they're going down, so how do you even begin to know if you're getting a good deal or if you're about to pay way too much?
So here's our game plan for the next few minutes. We'll start with that big, overvalued question. Then we're going to decode the PE ratio itself. After that, we'll talk about why context is everything, look at past versus future numbers, and wrap it all up with why this is a tool, not some magic rule. Okay, so to get a handle on that huge question, is this stock cheap or expensive? We need a guide. We need a signpost.
And that indicator, that signpost, is the price-to-earnings ratio. Most people just call it the PE ratio. This is going to be our first and maybe most important clue for figuring out if a stock is a potential bargain or just overhyped. All right, let's get into it. We're going to pull back the curtain on this thing. Now, I know it sounds a little technical, but trust me, the idea behind it is actually super simple once you see how it works. At its core, the PE ratio answers one simple question. How much are investors, as a group, willing to pay right now for every single dollar that a company makes in profit? That's it. It's a price tag on profits. And the math to figure it out? Super simple. You just take the current stock price and you divide it by the company's earnings per share, or EPS. So that begs the question, what exactly is EPS? Well, think of a company's total profit as a giant pie. The EPS is just your slice of that pie for every single share you own. They take all the profit they made, divide it up by all the shares out there, and voila, that's the earnings per share. Okay, let's use some real numbers to make this click. Let's say a stock costs $100 a share, and let's say its earnings per share for the year is $10. You just do the division. 100 divided by 10 gives you a PE ratio of 10. Simple, right? Well, what does that number, 10, actually tell us? It means this. Right now, the market is willing to pay $10 for every $1 that this company earns in profit each year. It's literally the price of $1's worth of that company's earnings. So, a PE of 10, is that good? Is that bad? Honestly, by itself, that number is totally meaningless. The PE ratio only becomes powerful when you put it in the right context. Generally, you can think of it like this. A really high PE means there are high expectations. Investors are paying a premium because they're betting on huge growth down the road. A low PE, on the other hand, could mean it's an undiscovered gem, or it could be a red flag that the company has some problems. And the most important context of all is the industry. You just can't compare a high-flying tech company to a slow and steady utility company. It's apples and oranges. They play by totally different rules and have completely different expectations for growth. Let's make this crystal clear with an example. We've got two companies here, Freshbite and Tasty Treats. They're in the same industry where the average PE is 12. Freshbite has a PE of 10. That's below the average, so it might be undervalued. But look at Tasty Treats. Its PE is 15. People are expecting big things from them, but it also runs the risk of being overvalued if that growth doesn't happen. But wait, there's another layer here. You see, that E for earnings can look in two different directions. It can look at the past or it can look to the future. And this gives us two different kinds of PE ratios to think about. It's really simple. There's the trailing P/E, which uses the actual real profits from the last 12 months. That's a hard fact. Then there's the forward P/E, which uses what analysts predict the company will earn in the future. One is history, the other is a forecast. Okay, check out BrightTech. The stock price is $100. Based on last year's earnings, its trailing PE is 20. But analysts are optimistic. They think earnings are going to double next year. Based on that projection, its forward PE is only 10.
So whenever you see a forward PE, that's a lot lower than the trailing PE, that's a huge clue. It means the market is betting big on future growth. But, and this is a big but, it's all based on an estimate. And estimates, as we all know, can be wrong.
All of this brings us to what might be the most important point of all. The PE ratio is a fantastic tool, an amazing starting point, but it is not a magic crystal ball. You have to know its strengths and its weaknesses. The good news?
It's simple, it's so easy to calculate, and it gives you a really quick snapshot of how a stock is valued. And it's absolutely brilliant for comparing direct competitors in the same industry.
Now, here's the catch. The PE ratio has some serious blind spots. It tells you nothing about a company's debt, or its cash flow, or its grand strategy for the future. And a weird one-time event can totally throw off the earnings and make the PE look strange. It's just one piece of a much, much bigger puzzle.
So if you remember one thing, let it be this. A low PE doesn't automatically scream buy, and a high PE doesn't automatically mean sell. As we've seen, context and a little bit of digging are everything.
Which really leaves us with one final big question. We know the PE ratio is a great way to look at earnings, but if it's only one piece of the puzzle, what are the other crucial pieces you need to look at? Things like debt, cash, and growth before you decide to invest.